Hi everybody, I'm the whiskey enthusiast. Welcome back to my channel. Before we start our experiment today, I want to do a shout out to Mr. Jeff Whisky. If you like your bottles to be slapped, go and check his channel out because it's just funny. He is this cool dude doing reviews like we all do, but he has a nice little slappity slap going on, and you'll know what I mean when you go and check his channel out. It's quite funny and entertaining, and his dry humor style is what gets me. So yeah, shout out to Jeff, and let's start what we have today. So this is Birkentree Scottish Highland Birchwater. There you go. I'll explain to you what it is. By the way, this video is no way paid or affiliated with them. I just bought it on my own pocket money, and I just wanted to give it a shot what it is. So what the premise is, this is Highland Birchwater, and let's just read it. Birkentree hand taps birchwater from carefully selected ancient Scottish Highland birch trees. The harvest only lasts for a few weeks during spring when the trees awaken. There's reason to believe that birchwater provided the inspiration for the national drink, as whiskey, Whisky Beta, is a derivation of Whisky Beta, birch water. This natural companion adds finesse and a delicate, smooth finish to your whiskey, the original birch water for whiskey. It is tree sap. I don't know if you can see it. There's some particles floating around. Yeah, there you go. You can't see it, can you? So it is tree sap, but it's not sap-like. It is quite watery. And the premise is, it will, when you need to dilute your whiskey, it will dilute your whiskey, but it will, it's how the Scots used to drink it. It has flavor. I will drink it and tell you what the flavor is. And they say it makes your whiskey better. And so let's see what the difference is. My control whiskey is this, John Walker and Sons. I've done the review of this, so I'm going to put the link up there. I picked this because there's no strong cask influence in this. This is 51% ABV, so it's robust to handle some dilution. And because it's blended whiskey, it is blended whiskey, right? Yeah, okay. I was just thinking, what's the blended malt? No, because it's blended whiskey, the grain spirit's in there, so that's not going to be too dominant, no malty flavors. Also, it's a nice whiskey. Like I said, the reviews there, just check it out. So that's my control whiskey. And here I have two glasses of identical amount of Johnny Walker and identical amount of birch water and just water. I did 30 droplets from this. Yep. And my lovely wife thankfully put something underneath. She put numbers. I don't know what the numbers are. There's 1 and 2. 1 and 2. So this is number 1, this is number 2. But I don't know which one is which. At the end of it, I'm going to reveal it. See if we can find the difference. Anyway, without further ado, I'm just going to go on the nose of the control whiskey. Yeah. It is strong. Grainy, black pepper. A little bit malty. Honey. A bit acetone. A bit sour. A bit yeasty. Now, let's see, little swirly swirl, and this one, let's go ahead. Yeah, number 1, number 2. With the editing, you'll know in the beginning. So nose on this one, according to the control, compared to the control, is very subdued. Didn't open up anything. No, is this more subdued? God damn, this is gonna be hard. Okay, so nose on this one is much more rounded, much more mellower, because this one is a bit, what do you call it, edgy, yeah, a bit bitey, whereas this one feel a bit more mellow, smooth, if I dare. And in this one, I feel the edges, but it feels like they've just been dulled a bit. Whereas this one, imagine the original whiskey a square, this one turned into a circle. So let's dive onto the palate, let's see. Okay, I feel it. Maybe I should have gone with the that one first, but it is what it is. Let's see. Just a bit of a sippy sip. Yeah. With number 2, I get much more flavor. With number 1, it was just subdued. I don't know, I didn't get much. It wasn't giving me more. And let's try the original. I should have done this backwards, but okay. Oh, big difference. So this is quite a robust flavor. It's very dark chocolate, very malty, bit bitter. You can feel the grain particles there. Whereas compared to that, these ones are subdued. 30 drops of water would do that, and 30 drops of birch water, I don't know what it would do. It feels like this one has a cotton lining around it. It kind of feels like it softens the blow, if that makes sense. It's nice. Yeah, I kind of prefer this one to the control whiskey. So I'm gonna make my guess now, because this feels a bit, it accentuated the bad parts of the control whiskey, if I may. So this is number one. So I'm gonna put number two up front of the ones I prefer. Then the control whiskey, the original with the labeled glass, and then number two. And just to give us an idea, I'm going to pour a little bit of a birch water in my small Glencairn, just to taste, just to tell you what it tastes like, and then I'm going to do the reveal. So if you're interested to buy, you can. I might put a link down below. Not that I have, like I said, any financial affiliations with them. And on their website, you can see. You know what it smells like? It smells a bit like coconut water, a bit like almond milk, a bit like oat milk. Just feels a bit damp cardboard. There's a little bit of a sweetness in there. Honestly, it feels like coconut water. Like a very, very, very light coconut water. So don't get me wrong, it's not coconutty, but it just has that weird feel of it. All right, let's do the reveal, shall we? I don't want to drag this out too much. Number one is birch water. Number two is water. So, go figure. So I didn't like the birch water. Thank God this wasn't paid partnership. Otherwise, I would have been sacked. So I preferred it with water, and then that is interesting. That is interesting. Let me. That's funny. Maybe I didn't put that much birch water in it. They do say do half and half, but who's like? Then it stops being whiskey, doesn't it? If you put half and half, like what's the point? Let's do a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another 20. I did. So, interesting. Okay. All right. You know what? I think what it does is it softens the blow. I'll do another 20 here. I think it just softens the blow of the whiskey, but it kind of dampens the flavors as well. It doesn't add anything. And they're not saying it will add anything, they're just saying it will accentuate the best parts of the whiskey, which in my opinion, it does the exact opposite. And mind you, I don't necessarily put water in my whiskey anyway, unless it's like 65%, 59%, whatever. There's a sweet spot, but the pursuing of that sweet spot is hard because you drop 10 droplets and you're like, oh, this is good, it could go better. And then you drop another 5 and it's like, oh, I missed it. And then you try to figure it out. So I know you have tried it before. Okay, alright, so now it's... But like I said, it just stops being whiskey then. It's... Because it isn't tasteless or it isn't odorless, there is a character to this. So you could argue then if I add coconut water to my whiskey, it will make it smoother, it will make it different. Honestly, I don't necessarily see the point of this. I'm sorry, guys. I know there's a lot of work gone into this, and no disrespect. It's just not for me. I know it is. I bet some people like it. What I can imagine this doing is, you have those bottles there you buy, and they get a bit. They're bad. You buy it over whim, or someone says it's good, or it's just one of those weird bottles that you're not enjoying, I bet if you actually pour half and half of this, then you would actually like that dram. But, you know, the same argument could be made for making cocktails from that whiskey, dominated by Coca-Cola or Red Bull or whatever your choice of chaser is. So my verdict, as you have seen, I think, and by the way, I picked the water one. I picked something just to pick over the control. I wanted to see which one I would prefer over the control. But at the end of the day, I think I would just prefer it neat. And this doesn't work for me. Hope this helps you. I don't know if you come across this brand. I don't know if you were curious about purchasing or not. But if you were, there you go. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, Birkentree. I didn't mean any disrespect, but I just don't like your product. It just wasn't for me. It's not for me. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you. This was a interesting one. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.